Burundi may be one of the smallest countries in Africa, but don't let its size fool you. This place is overflowing with natural beauty, deep cultural roots, and heart-stirring history. It's a land of rolling hills, hidden lakes, warm smiles, and traditional drumming that echoes through the mountains. This is your countdown of the top 10 places to visit in Burundi. Number 10. Bujumbura. Once the capital and still the largest city, Bujumbura is Burundi's entry point and cultural heartbeat. Nestled on the northeastern shore of Lake Tanganyika, it offers a unique blend of colonial charm, lakeside relaxation, and bustling African energy. Start your journey along the lakefront, where locals gather to swim, eat fresh grilled fish, and dance as the sun sets over the water. The beach vibe at Saga Plage is lively and full of color. Don't be surprised if you stumble into an impromptu drum circle or a beach football match with strangers who quickly become friends. Downtown, you'll find the Livingstone Stanley Monument, where the two famous explorers are said to have met. And for a dose of modern history, visit the Burundi National Museum, where exhibits showcase the country's royal heritage, traditional tools, and ethnographic artifacts that paint a deeper picture of Burundi's roots. Bujumbura also boasts a growing cafe and nightlife scene, from elegant rooftop lounges to street-side bars pulsing with local music. This city knows how to mix chill and charisma in equal measure. Number 9. Rusizi National Park. Just outside Bujumbura lies a treasure often missed, Rusizi National Park, a tranquil wetland and river delta teeming with wildlife. The Rusizi River, flowing into Lake Tanganyika, forms a lush green corridor filled with hippos, crocodiles, monkeys, and dozens of bird species. This park is surprisingly peaceful and uncrowded, offering boat safaris that glide through mangrove-like forests and along papyrus-lined shores. You'll likely spot herons, kingfishers, African jacanas, and, if you're lucky, some of the elusive Sitatunga antelope or a basking croc near the water's edge. What makes Rusizi so appealing isn't just the wildlife, it's the intimacy of the experience. You won't be sharing the boat with a dozen tourists or shouting over loud engines. Here, it's just you, nature, and the occasional splash of a hippo diving beneath the water. For photographers and birdwatchers, it's a dream come true. For everyone else, it's a breath of calm right next to the city, an introduction to the quieter magic Burundi has to offer. Number 8. Lake Tanganyika. Lake Tanganyika isn't just any lake. It's the second oldest, second deepest, and second largest freshwater lake in the world, and it stretches across 4 countries. But the Burundi side? It's special. Clean, calm, and framed by green hills. This is nature at its purest. You can go snorkeling or diving in crystal clear waters and see tropical cichlids found nowhere else on Earth. Fishing trips are popular too, especially in the early morning when fishermen launch their hand-carved canoes into the glassy lake. If you're feeling adventurous, rent a kayak or take a boat tour along the shore to explore nearby fishing villages. The beaches, especially those near Kigwena and Rumonge, are the kind of quiet, uncrowded stretches that you dream about. Picture golden sand, palm trees swaying in the wind, and not another tourist in sight. But Lake Tanganyika isn't just scenic, it's woven into the identity of Burundi itself. Generations of communities have lived, fished, and celebrated life along its shores. When you visit, you're not just seeing a lake, you're touching the lifeline of a nation. 7. Gishora Drum Sanctuary. In Burundi, drums are sacred, and at the Gishora Drum Sanctuary, they come alive in a way you'll never forget. Located just outside the city of Gitega, Gishora is a historic site where royal drums were once housed and played during coronations, peace treaties, and major rituals. Today, the sanctuary is a cultural treasure, keeping alive centuries-old drumming traditions. When you visit, you're not just watching a performance, you're experiencing a spiritual ceremony. Dozens of drummers dressed in traditional red and white robes gather around ancient drums, building rhythms that seem to rise from the earth itself. The energy is electric, the sound shakes your chest, and the dancers, they leap, twist, and swirl with a grace that blurs the line between history and now. Visitors are often welcomed warmly and given the chance to interact with the drummers, tour the drum houses, and learn about the meanings behind different rhythms. Gishora isn't a show, it's a living, breathing heart of Burundian identity. 6. Gitega. Welcome to Gitega, Burundi's quiet and charming new capital, and the country's cultural core. Unlike Bujumbura's hustle, Gitega is laid back, tidy, and deeply connected to tradition. One of the main attractions here is the National Museum of Gitega, a modest but meaningful space filled with artifacts from pre-colonial kingdoms, ancient tools, royal regalia, and ceremonial items. It gives context to everything you see in the villages and ceremonies across the country. Gitega is also a great base for exploring the Central Highlands, green rolling hills, red earth roads, and villages where life flows slowly. Markets here are colourful and lively, and the people are curious and kind. You can easily spend a day wandering, striking up conversations, or sharing meals with strangers who quickly become friends. If you're looking to experience everyday Burundian life, Gitega is the place. It's the country's soul, calm, warm, and full of stories. Number 5. Kibera National Park. For nature lovers and hiking fanatics, Kibera National Park is paradise. Stretching across the Burundi-Rwanda border, this park preserves the country's last primary rainforest, a lush, misty wilderness that feels ancient and untouched. Here, you'll find over 600 plant species, more than 200 bird species, and chimpanzees, colobus monkeys, and baboons moving through the canopy. The air is fresh and filled with the scent of wild orchids, wet earth, and moss. The silence is profound, broken only by birdsong or the rustling of leaves as a monkey swings past. Guided hikes can take you along old colonial logging paths, to hidden waterfalls, and even to viewpoints where the hills roll out like waves. Local guides often come from nearby villages and bring deep knowledge of medicinal plants, wildlife behavior, and forest legends. Kibera isn't just beautiful, it's spiritually charged, especially among communities who consider it a sacred landscape. It's a place to reflect, breathe deeply, and feel very, very alive. Number 4. Karera Waterfalls. In the province of Rutana, tucked away in green hills and banana groves, you'll find the breathtaking Karera Waterfalls, one of Burundi's most spectacular natural wonders. These aren't just one waterfall, they're a network of cascading falls spilling over multiple levels of red rock and jungle foliage. The sound is thunderous, the mist refreshing, and the views unforgettable. Some falls drop vertically, while others fan out into wide, multi-tiered curtains of water. Local guides can take you through the area on foot, leading to swimming holes and natural rock pools. It's a favorite picnic spot for local families, but still off the beaten track for international tourists, which means you may have it all to yourself. The journey to Karera is part of the magic. You'll pass tiny villages, terraced farms, and curious children waving from dusty roads. When you finally hear the roar of the water in the distance, it feels like finding an oasis in the hills. Number 3. Mount Heha. If you're up for a little challenge, Mount Heha waits. As the highest point in Burundi, this peak offers hikers and nature lovers a chance to conquer the summit and take in some of the most panoramic views in the country. At 2,684 meters, 8,806 feet, Mount Heha isn't a technical climb, but it does offer a variety of trails that wind through forests, fields, and mountain villages. Along the way, you'll see locals carrying firewood, tending crops, or walking their goats along the same trails you're hiking, adding an everyday authenticity to the journey. At the summit, the reward is epic. A sweeping view of the entire Bujumbura Plain, Lake Tanganyika, and the surrounding mountains. On clear days, you can even see across to the Democratic Republic of Congo. Hiking Mount Heha is less about adrenaline and more about immersion in nature, in rural life, and in a country few people have ever seen from above. Number 2, source of the Nile, Southern Nile Spring. Did you know that one of the sources of the Nile River is located in Burundi? Near the town of Rutovu, you'll find the Southern Nile Spring, a quiet, almost mythical spot that marks the farthest source of the White Nile. While Uganda and Ethiopia get much of the fame, this spring in Burundi is believed to be the southernmost origin of the Nile's massive journey north to the Mediterranean Sea. A monument marks the spot, and local guides are proud to share the story of how explorers like Speke and Stanley debated over this very spring's significance. The site is small but powerful, surrounded by green hills and overlooked by Mount Kikizi. It's a reminder that even the greatest rivers begin as a trickle from the earth, and that greatness can start in the most humble of places. Number 1, Lake Ruahinda, Bird Lake. At the top of our list is a place of quiet beauty, biodiversity, and sacred balance. Lake Ruahinda, also known as Bird Lake, in northern Burundi, near the town of Kirundo. This lake is a protected nature reserve and a haven for bird life, including storks, herons, ibis, and migratory species that fly in from Europe and Asia. It's a dream for birdwatchers and photographers, especially during the migration season when the skies above the lake come alive. You can explore the lake by dugout canoe, paddled by local guides who move slowly and quietly so you can drift near nesting islands and flocks of feeding birds. It's peaceful, meditative, and deeply connected to the rhythms of nature. Beyond the birds, Lake Ruahinda is a vital water source and spiritual site for nearby communities. Locals believe the lake is a gift, a reminder that even in a small, landlocked nation, you can find infinite beauty and balance. Burundi may not have the fame of its neighbors, but what it offers is rare, real, unfiltered wonder. From sacred drums to rainforests, mountain peaks to hidden lakes, it's a country where tradition and nature still walk hand in hand. So, which spot would you visit first? The lakeside city of Bujumbura, the thundering Karera waterfalls, or maybe the ancient rhythms of Gishora? Drop your pick in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe.